In this RouteCAD tutorial video, we will see how we can actually machine a surface of revolution on a real CNC machine. We have designed a chuck holding tool with keep out object. We also have designed a workpiece. We created a profile of revolution using construction line, and then we used the wizard to create a surface of revolution. And in the setting of the wizard, we specify to have some roughing path and or a roughing depth of cut, and we also specify to have 2 finish passes. Now, the last thing to do is we got to make sure that the configuration, the Gcode configuration is correct. But if the Gcode configuration is correct, the last thing to do is to export this to Gcode. Now we export those 2 files, the .rs. That project was already exported, so we just overwrite it. And now the .nc is the Gcode, so we just overwrite what we did before. Now everything is ready to go and machine this on a real CNC machine. We could do that on Mac 3, Routebot CNC, or any good CNC controller. In our case, we are using Routebot CNC. So we're going to go to Routebot CNC, which is also loaded on this same computer. Now we already downloaded the Gcode that we had created, CNC late finish pass.nc, to the CNC controller, and we got the graphical representation over here. Now we're going to execute this Gcode so we can better see what is actually happening on a CNC controller when we define with the wizard the finish passes in RouteCAD. So we go to Gcode and we start machining. We click on yes. Now the CNC will begin its machining. Now because it was not at the home location, the very first what it will do, it will go back to the actual home location or the first routed, and it will start machining. Now that distance is the 0.5-inch clearance to material. The first pass, in this case, the first pass is not on the material, is a little bit above. It's because of the way we define this. Is the way we define it. It could not be above because we define 2 finish passes and roughing pass and all that. The final result give us 1 pass that is slightly above the material, but all the other passes will be on the material. So now it go back. So as we can see, the roughing pass is always going in the material by the depth of cut roughing. In our case, the depth of cut roughing is 0.2 inch, so it will go in the material by 0.2 inch and then get out of the material following kind of like what the profile is, and always going back to back out by the 0.5 inch clearance to material that was specified in the wizard. So now it's ready for the 3rd pass. The 2 first pass were not doing much, but this 3rd pass will really go into the material by 0.2 inch and removing material, and then going out again and coming back. And as you can see, the roughing pass does not give you the final profile. The roughing pass is basically trying to mimic the profile, but not give you the final profile, just so that you're removing the material as you specified, the depth of cut, 0.2, 0.2, 0.2, 0.2 inch at a time, following what the profile is and removing material in that way. Right now, it did already 1, 2, 3, 4 roughing pass, and it will do the very last roughing pass, which will bring it all the way over there. So now we follow the CNC cutting tool head, doing the last roughing pass, and we can see that those two are the finished passes. So because the finished pass, the profile was offsetted by the number of finished passes to give you all the roughing pass. So now it did all the roughing pass, all the roughing. So it removed all that material. Now, what is interesting, the CNC will now follow the path for the finished passes. The finished passes is different than the roughing passes because the finished passes always execute the profile as is. So it's really going to execute the profile as is and go inside by the amount that was specified, which in this case 0.1 inch. So now there's only 0.1 inch left before we get the final result of what we want. So it did all the roughing pass. It did one finished pass at 0.1 inch inside the material, following the original profile strictly. And now it will perform the very last finished pass to give us the final surface of revolution that we wanted. And in this way, we get the most optimized result, the best finished product.